Ever since the Cunning Stunts DLC released in July of 2016, Dripfeed has become a plague in many people's eyes. Often DLCs released with a crumb of the content that is found in the files, only to see it being released bit by bit the month after the release of the DLC. Why is that? And should we keep accepting the fact that this is the way that Dripfeed has become? Or is it time that we let Rockstar know that there should really be a better way to go about the drip feeding? Or should I tell you about the sponsor of today's video? Raid Shadow Legends. With over 300 champions, big arenas, large epic battles, graphics and bosses, there's never been a better time to download Raid Shadow Legends than right now. Because Raid even got WWE superstar Ronda Rousey. Her Fist of Fury, ability to block active and passive skills, and a powerful AoE attack that does not only do massive damage, it will also make her immune to turn meter reductions, even when it's on cooldown, making Ronda the perfect asset to your team. To unlock Ronda, all you have to do is play Raid Shadow Legends for 7 days between today and February 20th. And the best part? Whether you're new or a long-time player, Ronda will be available for everyone, just like the promo code RAIDRONDA for an additional 3-day 100% XP boost, 500,000 silver and 5 full energy refills. Perfect for leveling your Ronda up so she's on top of her game. And if you haven't started playing Raid just yet, click my link in the description or scan my QR code on the screen and you will get unique bonuses worth $30. We're talking a free epic champions, Ana, 200,000 silver, 1 energy refill, XP boost and an Ancient shard so you can summon awesome champions as soon as you get them in game. All this treasure will be waiting for you right here, available for the next 30 days for new players only. Thank you again Raid for sponsoring this video. Typically, a DLC release goes as followed. The DLC releases, we found out all the cars and the content for the DLC, and then we see the content, mostly the cars of course, that we are really excited about as we're downloading the update. A few hours later, we found out that the DLC was not going to be exactly as we hoped for, and in 3 months' time, we will see all the other content releasing. Which means that we will crawl into a ball, waiting until we get that particular car of piece of content that will arrive week by week by week. If you want an example of how frustrated people are having to wait for a new car during the Criminal Enterprises DLC cycle, primarily the 9F, then look no further than the comment section of the event week videos on the channel. People were threatening to uninstall the game, write angry letters to the Queen, and claiming that they would sell their pets to the lowest bidder if they didn't get their video game content next week. While I am certainly over-exaggerating here a bit, it isn't too far from the truth of how upset people were getting about the whole thing. But let me explain as to why, in my opinion, Dripfeed exists, and in my opinion also, is good for the game. The short answer is obviously going to be shark cards. Probably. The long answer might be a little bit longer, but it's still going to be pretty simple. Hear me out. If Rockstar were to release every single bit of content in one go, like they did with the summer update back in 2020, then the people will be done with the content in the game for the next 4 to 5 months. Player counts will go down, and thus Rockstar will have to find different ways to get people involved within the game. And let's be honest here, everyone's idea of a good event week involves either a business or a heist. So if that isn't double cash and RP, then no one will really going to bother to log into the game. Unless there's another reason to do so. The other reason, generally speaking, is Dripfeed. Whether it's a new car, gun or game mode, people seem to still be semi-actively playing the game, and if they do, they will probably still hop on the game to see exactly what is new. They might not stick around longer than an hour or so, but if you multiply that by thousands and thousands of people, then you got yourself a recipe for success. And obviously, Rockstar is undoubtedly seeing that within their data. Then if you add the fact that if a new car arrives, people will either buy a shark card out of impulse, or they will play the game for a few hours to be able to buy it, or just get enough cash together so they can be prepared for future releases. And then, of course, they also want to try out the new car, and you got yourself a win-win-win-win-win situation for Rockstar. Because whether you buy the shark card or play the game, Rockstar has exactly where they want you. playing their game, doing stuff in them, and basically getting that player attention and the money spent that they want to see in their games. Personally, I started off being on the same side that many others that are currently not liking the whole fact that there is all this Dripfeed going on. Because during the bunker resupply missions in the gun running DLC, I saw multiple unreleased vehicles being dangled in front of my eyes, only to not be able to use them within free roam. At this time, this was kind of the first time this was happening, to really much frustration of everyone, and including myself. But as time went on, I kind of learned to accept the fact that Rockstar was really going to use many of the new missions to simply promote the new vehicles in the game. Think about it. How often do you have these new missions with new cars or stuff that's even unreleased and you have to use them? Look at stuff like the lowrider missions, or even more recently the UAP missions. It's a clever way of basically just having free marketing within your game, as you create a curiosity within the player base of, ooh, I wonder when this car is gonna come out, I should probably play the game to be able to afford it, or buy a shark or something like that. And obviously this will also create frustrated players, but if you're going to be honest about it, I think the people that are on the side of being okay with Dripfeed is most likely vastly outperforming the people who are screaming about it the loudest, even though how frustrating it is for those folks. But as time went on, and I personally learned to kind of really appreciate the content that was being drip-fed to us. The reason as to why I feel this way is also pretty simple. We have something new to look forward every Thursday. I genuinely look forward to see what the new car handles like, or how it feels to race with, what the new game mode plays like, what the new community jobs look like, and go on for a bit to see if the new mini quests to unlock the new gun or some sort of new unlockable item that are released with each event week. Sure, this stuff typically lasts about a day or a couple of hours, but it's still something that makes me interested to go onto the game, and really that is what is working for many people. Obviously, not everyone hops on the game on Thursday right away, so throughout the week, Rockstar will probably see the same kind of results. If Rockstar were to just dump all the cars and content in one go like they did with the Los Santos summer update, you eliminate the reason for people to really log into the game on at least a weekly basis. Thus, you got a less active player base, and the game will kind of quote-unquote suffer from it, because obviously game modes will become less populated, thus making it less interesting for people to hop on the game. Having a more evenly spread out approach to content will also allow people to be able to take their time with checking out some of the new game modes that was released during a week, instead of having to pile everything on to release date. I know the overwhelming feeling of a DLC release date all too well when I try to figure out what exactly is the new stuff, and I truly really get to play everything. And I could imagine the same thing would be applicable to others as well, especially those casual gamers out there. I personally enjoy being able to experience the contract DLC story at a decent pace without feeling like I'm missing out on other content. The other stuff will come next week, and that's fine, at least for me. Those are some of my thoughts though. Of course, I'd love to know what you think in the comments down below. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more, and if you really like what you see on the channel, become a member. Like Not Fatigue, Maddie, KFC Chicken, GTA Plus, and Chloe. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you all later.